Sentinels! This video is designed to help you learn how to be awesome at using Google Docs. When your teacher assigns you a Google Doc assignment, this document here is yours to edit. So nobody else in the class except your teacher can see it. I can see that my name was automatically put into the title, and all of the changes I make to this doc are going to automatically save to the cloud so that my teacher can give me feedback. So you are welcome to freely edit. You don't need to download or anything like that. All of the questions on this are just designed to help us check out the tools in Google Docs. So let's just start working through. First one says to set up this page in landscape format. Change anything about the way that the page looks. If I zoom all the way out to make this smaller, I can see that this is kind of your typical page setup. I would like to change it to landscape format, meaning it's going to be longer at the top than at the sides. I'm going to click on File, and down at Page Setup, I can change it to landscape just by selecting this bubble, and that changes the page to be longer at the top and the bottom than it is at the sides. Next one says all the margins should be at 0.5 inches. So I'm going to go back to the same spot, and actually I can see that the next step says to make the background color of the page light green. So I can go both those things at once. Scrolling all the way to the bottom where it says Page Setup, again, I'm in File. When I click Page Setup, I can first change the margins. Right now they're all at 1 inch. That means that there's 1 inch of space around my words at all parts of the page, but I can change it to be 0.5 inches. So there's going to be more room for my words on the page. Also change the page color here. Right now it's white. That's standard. But my teacher asked for it to be in light green, so I'm just going to change the color there. Click OK, and then I've done all three of those things. Zoom back in. Next step says to make the title practice assignment, set it to the center of the page. So right here, this is the title of our document. It's right now aligned to the left side of the page. That's usually where we start typing from. But I can change it from this section right here. I can choose where I want those words to be aligned to, or where we start typing from. So this one says to set the title into the center of the page. So I'm going to click Center Align, and that brings my title to the middle to help it stand out. The last part of this top section here says to change this list of bullet points from circles to stars. So all of these bullet points are right now circles, which is what's going to be standard. That'll show up first. I can change them to be more interesting or more appropriate for this assignment in this bullet list right up here. To do that, I can see that I have choices. I can keep it circles, there's diamonds or boxes or arrows. My teacher asked for stars, so I'm going to select stars. The first question is asking me to first create a table with 3 rows and 2 columns. So I'm going to click here so that my table will show up below this question. I see there's a lot more steps. Let's start just by making the table. You're going to insert, and underneath table, I can use this visual tool to select whatever size table my teacher is telling me to. So you can even make a really large one by scrolling your mouse out over there. So to have 3 rows, I'm going to select 3 down, and then 2 columns. I'm just going to go over 1. So this is a 2 by 3 table. All right, the next step is to label. Put these labels in the boxes of the first column: favorite color, favorite animal, and favorite food. Fill out the second column with your favorites. So again, the columns are what are going up and down here. So this is my second column. So I'm just going to fill it out with my favorites. You can also change the size of your rows and columns by just clicking and dragging along to change the size there. Next step says if you have a favorite season, add a 4th row to fill it out. This is a really useful tool for us to learn, because if you find out that you need additional rows or columns, you don't want to have to start all over by making a new table. So instead, all I have to do is hit right-click, put Insert Row Below. So I know I'm going to add another row below my last one there. So now I'm going to add Favorite Season. Next step is to create a title for this table, and my teacher has very specific steps here. Add an additional row at the top of the table. So I do not need to start all over. All I need to do is go to the top row that I have and put Insert Row Above. To make this one a title, I'm supposed to merge the cells together. If I just right-click one of these cells, I'm not going to see the option to do that or the tool show up. In order to do that, I have to select all of the rows, the cells, excuse me, that I want together. So I'm going to select this whole top row here, right click, and then merge cells is going to make them just one cell at the top. And then set it to center so it's a really clear title of my table. The next step says to change the background color of your table to gray. So you can do this one cell at a time if you want the cells to be different colors. To do that, I'm just going to select the cell I want to change. And I'm going to look up here where these 3 dots are. To change the color, you're looking for this paint bucket icon, the fill icon. And then this is asking for gray. So I'm going to do this light color so that my font still shows through. It's easy to read. If you want to do more than one box at a time, you just select all of the ones that you want to change, hit that fill box again. You can even make them slightly different colors so that the title stands out, and then we're done. To insert a picture, you could upload one that you have already saved on your computer by hitting Insert, going to Image, and hitting Upload. If you don't have one though, it's really easy to hit Search the Web, and you don't even have to leave your tab in order to find the picture that you're looking for. So I'm searching for golden retriever. It's already filled it in for me. And there's all these pictures I can just click and put them into my doc. They're so cute. All right, I think that this one is the cutest. So I'm going to click that one and hit Insert. And then my picture is going to show up. Now this picture is enormous. It's way too big, so it's not really appropriate for the size that the rest of my doc is in. So I'm going to just shrink it a little bit by just dragging up the corners until I have it the size that I want it. For your picture, you can keep it in line with the text. That means it's going to be between the lines of your writing, or you can hit wrap text, which means that the words on your doc are going to kind of wrap around the picture so it doesn't take up as much space on the page. So it's up to you and kind of what works with your doc, but I've got a little golden retriever there below my table. All right, the next question says to write the name of your science teacher and what period you have them. Highlight their last name in blue. So I'm going to highlight Mrs. Jellison, just her last name, by double-clicking that word. I want to highlight it in blue. To highlight, it's this tool right here. So when you're highlighting, it's a good idea to try to use something that's a lot lighter, one of these neon colors. It's like a real highlighter that lets your words show through really easily. Next step here is asking me to write out my name in my favorite font, and then there's some other steps to follow. So I'm going to start by writing my name, Mrs. Sayer, and I'm going to set it to my favorite font. So I'm going to highlight the words I want to change. Let's click a font here. There's tons of fonts to choose from. For this one, I'm going to choose Lobster, feeling a little fancy. And then says to change the font size to 16. So I'm going to change the font size here. 16 does not show up on this drop-down menu, but you can always just type it in yourself and hit enter. And lastly, set it to italics. So italics is when the words are slanted, and you can do that a couple ways. You can click this I up here, and it shows how it's going to slant it, or you can also do Control I. Underneath our name, we're going to type the name of our school and underline it. So you can click the underline button, or you can do Control U. It also says it right there in case you forget. Set the school name to a different font and change the color to red. So it's still selected. Let's change the font to something fun and change the color to red. So the font color is here, is A, and I just select the color I want, and I'm done. Hyperlinks are super useful. What it means is somebody can click on the words or even a picture in your document, and it will take them to the website that you want them to go to. So let's type out a sentence that includes the name of our school. It's amazing students go to Stilcombe High School. What I'm going to do to turn this into a hyperlink is first figure out where do I want people to go to. I'm supposed to insert a hyperlink that takes us to our school website. I have our school website up here in this tab. You can also just Google Stilcombe High School and it will take you there. I want to select URL or the address for this website. So I'm going to select the address and I'm going to copy it. You can do Control C or hit copy Once we're back in our doc, now I can select words that I want to be the hyperlink. Right click, and right down here where it says link, you can also use the shortcut Control K. I'm going to select that. I'm going to paste. That's what I just copied from the other tab, and hit apply. And now what I see is this hyperlink. This blue underlined words means that somebody, a teacher or another student, can click on this and it will automatically bring up the link to go to the website I want them to see. The next question here is use the define tool to copy and paste a definition of the word elucidate. So if you see vocab words in your docs and you want to just quickly find out what they mean, you do not even need to open up a new tab. You can select the word that you want to define, right click, hit define elucidate. Definition is going to show up right off to the right of your document. It's a lot faster than Googling it in a new tab. So this one, elucidate, is to make something clear or explain. So I'm just going to copy and paste that. My teacher said for this one, it's just fine to copy paste. So to copy paste, you can use your right click to just hit copy and paste. You can also use Control C to copy and Control V to paste. Our last question here is a super cool tool that I would love for you to know about. It's called Voice Typing Tool. So to use voice typing, you're just going to come up here to Tools and hit Voice Typing Tool. It's going to bring up a little microphone tool for me to use, and the question I'm trying to answer is about what I ate for breakfast today. So what's going to happen is I'm going to click this microphone, and then the words that I'm speaking are just going to show up on the screen as I'm saying them out loud. Period. You can click it again to turn it off. You can see that it's not going to be perfect. If you're typing stuff using the voice typing tool, you're going to have to go back and edit. It can be a really great way to get your words down quickly, especially if you are a little bit slower with typing or if you're just trying to brainstorm. So I'm going to answer this question now about what I ate for breakfast today. So click the microphone. For breakfast today, I had a mango smoothie. All right, again, I can see that I'm going to have to go back and edit. It's not going to be perfect with grammar and every single detail, so I'm going to have to go back and add make some changes. Breakfast today, I had a mango smoothie, period. Once you're finished with your Google Doc and you're ready to turn it in to submit it for feedback, you just select Turn In at the top of your page. Another really important thing to know about Google Docs is that your teachers can give you feedback right on the document, and sometimes they'll ask you to make some comments or edits before you turn in your work. So right now I can see that my teacher is looking at my assignment, which is fine. I know I'm going to get some feedback there. She left me a comment on this page. So the comments will show up. That font will now be highlighted, and it will show me the comment that my teacher made. So I said that my favorite animal is a golden retriever. My teacher wrote, golden retrievers are the best. Do you have a dog? And I can reply right here on the comment. So I can say, yes, my dog's name is Ralphie. And reply. And she's going to get the comment. And comments show up in your email. So it's going to be really quick to send information back and forth between your teacher. If you have a question about one of these things, like if you didn't know how to make a table, you could leave your own comment here by highlighting what you have a question about, hitting add comment. I can say, please help me understand how to make a table, and comment. And my teacher is going to see that. If you have any other questions about how to use Google Docs, don't be afraid to ask your teachers. We are ready to help you out and be awesome with Google Docs.